Evening, everyone. It's Wednesday evening, the 14th of July, and this is your closing comment, and it is video number 850. Okay, so it was kind of an interesting day. I'm sure you already know by now, but the PPI was up 1%. Versus 0.6 as expected, and ex-food and energy, for those who obviously don't drive or eat, was also up 1%. The year-over-year number was dramatic, up 7.3% versus an expectation of 5.6%. The market didn't react particularly to it, but the chart on the screen is gold, and it clearly did. It was about unchanged to slightly higher, and then when the number came out, they took it all the way up to a high of 1831.10, and then it came all the way back down about halfway or so, and then in the last hour and a half of trading, it climbed right back up to close much closer to the high, probably 5/6 up on the range, and up a whopping $15. It's a little higher tonight, again, up another $3. Like to see it break that high, like to see it go right through, but I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to have probably a reasonably quiet day tomorrow, and as my partner Dennis said, he expects it to be a little bit sloppy tomorrow, and possibly Friday and Monday have a continued move up. He's the same guy who was long here, we got out up here, we got back in here, and we've traded it a couple of times. We were in the GLD 169s, we were in the GLD 171s. We still have a small position in those 171s, but they expire on Friday, so I'm hoping for some continued action over the next 2 days. Apple, new high, 149.15 on the close, up 351, 2.4%, and that added about 25 Dow points to the index, and it puts us pretty close to 2.5 trillion market cap, which is really amazing. We had a bunch of bank earnings. They were mixed. Bank of America was down about $1 on a miss in revenues and a beat on bottom line. The stock was higher than lower. It finished, as I said, down about 2.5%. BlackRock beat top and bottom, and they hated it. It closed 880, down 27.75. Even this morning, it was trading 895, down about 13, and so it finished down twice that, which is kind of a surprise. Citi was a miss on revenues, a beat on earnings, and it did basically nothing. It was down 17 cents. And Wells Fargo, which was also a beat, was up 45 cents. Then it was down, but at the end of the day, it closed 44.98, up $1.75, 4.1%. I just can't stand this company after all of the things that they did to violate the trust of their shareholders, their account holders. Okay, of my sectors, 13 of them, 11 down, none up, only food supply chain and infrastructure even mixed. But the group that got pounded the most were the meme stocks. And for that, I'm going to take you over here and show you GME, 345, 158. So that's clearly been overcut in half in the last month. Let's go to Virgin Galactic. Monday traded 59.99 pre-market. The high in the regular market was only 50 and 3/4. Today, the low 32.52. Also, basically cut in half, except it was only 3 days. And AMC, which everybody loved when the CEO came out here and said that they weren't going to do another offering, and the stock has since moved from 61 to close today 32 and a half. So GME down 7.25% today, AMC down 16% today, and SPCE down 10% today. We also had in that food supply chain, this is ConAgra, which had earnings yesterday. So it closed on Monday at just under 36. On the earnings yesterday, they got it down to 33.88. Now, ConAgra is kind of a staid old company. So when I see that it was down 5.5%, that's a pretty unusual move for it. Today, it got all the way down to 33.30, but managed to close up on the day, 34.15, and that's slightly higher. But as you can see, below the Bollinger Band, got very oversold very quickly. MACD crossed 2 days ago, but looks like it could bottom out the same place it bottomed out the last time, when it had a move from 35.5 to 36.75 in basically 3 days. Like I said, it's a pretty staid old company, and so that's kind of an unusual one. AIG made a deal after the close today. I'll show you the regular market hours. Regular market hours, it closed 46.41, and that was down 32 cents. Then it announced a deal with Blackstone, not BlackRock, Blackstone, to have Blackstone manage some of their retirement assets. Lo and behold, 49.70. So a move from where we closed at 46.41 to a high of 49.90 and a last of 49.73. So $3 up showing on the day, and a solid 3.25 up from where it closed tonight at regular hours. So that's a pretty decent deal. As far as the indexes go, we were higher, we were lower, we were higher again. The Dow closed up 44.44, but the advanced declines were 1.5, almost 1.5 to 1 down. NASDAQ closed down 32, but the advanced declines there were 2.2 to 1 down. So this is a pretty weak market. But the real surprise is the Russell. The Russell down another 36.51, 1.63%, and that's a pretty massive move. We're talking about an index that is just under 7% off its high, while the rest of these things were making new highs yesterday. So, subtract that 1 5/8 off that 7, and you're still 5.5% off the highs in a market that was making new all-time highs and closing highs. The oil was soft on more of the COVID and worldwide reopening doubts. France in particularly bad shape, not allowing international visitors. And the oil finished down 212. There is talk that there's an OPEC deal, but it's been very sloppy, and they've been trying to get it together now for the better part of 10 days. As I mentioned, the gold was strong, and I really like it. Bitcoin up 525, neither here nor there. The dollar was down. It was up 55 cents yesterday. It was down 35 cents today. And the bonds were up 1.125 dollars. That's a interesting looking chart. We are short using the TBT calls, and although it has moved against us, we actually got short at a good price. We got short up here. So, today was an inside day, higher low, lower high, and while it did close up right near the high and is a little bit higher tonight, I don't expect it to be able to break out through these highs at 163.07, 163.04. Last is 162.25, which is about 11 to 14 30 seconds, so about a third of a dollar higher. So I still think we're going to break back down here to the 160 and a half, 160, but we will be out of this trade tomorrow if it closes up on the day, I believe. All right, everyone. Have a good evening. I'll be back first thing in the morning. We don't have any real economic news tomorrow. We do have retail sales on Friday, but we have earnings tomorrow. Morgan Stanley, UNH, and everybody's favorite chip stock, Taiwan Semiconductor. All right, everyone. See you in the morning.